The House has also voted to overturn President Trump's tariffs on Canada. 6 Republicans sided with nearly all Democrats on this one to approve the move. But even if it clears the Senate, the measure can be vetoed by the president. Speaker Mike Johnson called the vote disappointing and suggested it's pointless. Listen.
I don't think it's right for the House to be intervening in the middle of that at this really important time. So I'm disappointed in the vote, but the president has veto power, and there's not a 2/3 majority in both chambers to override the veto, so it's not going to change the policy in the end anyway. But I think this is a fruitless exercise and a pointless one, and I'm disappointed in it.
Natalie Brand joins us from the White House to talk more about this. Natalie, good morning. The House Speaker there says it's fruitless, but this is a rare pushback from Congress and Republicans on the president's agenda. What can you tell us about why they did it?
Yeah, it was a strong message to the White House, Errol, even though it was largely symbolic. And as this vote was happening, President Trump actually took to social media, threatening any Republicans who voted with Democrats, saying that there would be consequences come election time, including the primaries, also arguing that tariffs have provided economic and national security for the country. But in the end, as you noted, 6 Republicans voted with House Democrats against the tariffs on Canada. And those members, if we can take a look, really span districts across the country. They do include some members who are not running for re-election. That includes Dan Newhouse of Washington State, also Don Bacon of Nebraska. And the vote included Thomas Massie of Kentucky, who has been a frequent Trump critic. And ahead of this vote, 3 of those Republicans on the screen also voted with Democrats against a procedural maneuver that would have allowed the House Speaker to essentially block any sort of legislation aimed against the administration's tariffs. And we spoke to CBS News on the takeout, spoke to California's Kevin Kiley about his vote on that. Take a listen to what he said.
First and foremost was a big problem for me, is this attempt to reduce the power of members of the House. And then this is also, just authority that the House of Representatives has under Article 1 of our Constitution. And I think that, it's important in our system of checks and balances that we protect the powers that belong to our branch of government.
Members of Congress who have been critical of the president's tariff policy point to the Constitution, saying that it gives Congress the power to levy tariffs, regulate foreign commerce. The president, as we know, has used executive action and national emergency declarations to try to get around that, despite so much pushback from trade groups, business groups, even voters worried about the cost. In the end, Errol, we're still watching for the big Supreme Court decision that is expected any day now, which would ultimately rule on the president's tariff policies.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. It was just coming to mind as you said it. We'll keep an eye on this. Natalie, thank you so much.